All right, we're
All
recording.
right.
What up, Sabrina?
Hello, Cryptonella. How are you?
How are you? Okay, I want to know everything about what's going on with you. I know we had a brief convo. Almost knocked over my thing. A couple days ago, you said you had some cool stuff in the works. You had a meeting coming up. You were gonna update me. We decided to do it here on recorded Zoom so we can share and let people know what's coming up because Miami is going to be lit again for crypto season. I'll just call it crypto season. So yeah, why don't you just give me a little rundown and then let me pick your brain about it.
Absolutely. So I'm Sabrina over here coming at you. The Miami Tech Month for the month of April, it's going to be super exciting. I feel like it's a public showcase for everybody's efforts in not just the Miami community, but around the world. There's going to be, I think, like thousands of people. I don't know exactly the number because of the pandemic, but a lot of people are coming into town for Miami Tech Month. There's back-to-back conferences going on. There's NFT Art Week the first week of April. So there's going to be a bunch of local NFT events in Miami. Everything from modeling to artwork to music to like everything. Like there's even DJs and they're all getting into it because people are realizing the value of NFTs. Then there's the Shitcoin conference, which starts, I believe, the April 5th to 6th. And then April 6th to 9 is the official Bitcoin conference, which is another style of the conference that includes a music concert with Steve Aoki. So that's going to be super interesting. And I guess that's the first official concert that's NFT based. So that's an interesting new setting that is being created for this era.
So let's talk about that. So it's an NFT based concert, meaning that the ticket is bought as an NFT in crypto and
I'm not sure. I think you can purchase your ticket with Bitcoin. But I know Steve Aoki is getting highly involved with NFTs. So they created like a Bitcoin concert that's affiliated with the Bitcoin conference. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. If you go on the Bitcoin conference website, and we can post the links with this recording so people can look it up. Because yeah, like I've never heard of a concert for an artist like that yet. So this is the new era. And after that is Emerge Americas is the third conference. And that's sort of, I think it's going to be more focused on Miami's efforts to create Miami Coin and working with the government, making sure that the technology, like, you know, Miami's trying to enhance themselves as a technology hub.
I really hope they do something with the Miami coin because I bought some and it went to like next to nothing.
Well, but I think they're
I staked my Miami coin for STX, and STX just pumped like 30% yesterday.
STX?
Yeah, I don't know why, but
tell us more about STX. What's STX?
Honestly, I can't even remember the utility behind it. It's they just had it on the OK coin where you could buy the Miami coin initially. You could stake your Miami coin for 480% API or APY, sorry. And you get paid back in STX, which then you could stake for Bitcoin. So I did that. Ooh. And I made around the same amount of money as I bought in Miami coin. Yeah, so I didn't lose. I have all this free STX. My Miami coin's worth nothing, so hopefully they revive it because like what the heck, I had faith in you, Miami coin.
I think what they're doing with all these conferences coming up, because they have so many different people coming through, they're reorganizing their roadmap is what it looks like, and so that they can create a better utility. So that's to my understanding. I have a good connection, one of my colleagues that works with the crypto task force. They're creating a crypto task force with the Miami government so that they can, if they do make the funding for Miami Coin properly, of course, what are they using that money for? They want to revitalize neighborhoods and get the school libraries and stuff onto virtual reality.
Yeah, so I heard that they already made like $5 million from the coin, and they were gonna have some sort of voting system so people could vote where they wanted the money to be spent within the city to do different projects. So that's really cool.
Very cool. Yeah, exactly.
So I just
It's like a
donated
DAO, like
like,
building up to a DAO.
towards that.
Yeah.
Okay, I looked up the Aoki, DJ Steve Aoki thing. It says, Steve Aoki is no Ricky on the subject of blockchain technology and NFTs, but on Thursday, the world famous DJ took things to a huge step forward with the launch of his very own virtual world, harnessing the powers of the ever-expanding frontier of Web3.
Exactly.
It's called Aokiverse.
Haha.
And it's a metaversal move powered by two main components, Aoki credits and the passport, which he has his own crypto tokens, which are capped at a total circulation of 50,000 that act as the Aoki versus currency. And they've got the passport, which is a dynamic NFT purchasable with the Aoki credits that provide access to specific rewards and experiences, both on-chain and in real life. The tier of access afforded to users by their passports depends on the number of credits they hold when they redeem. So that's pretty cool. They're going to be doing some
That's awesome.
redeemable swag, and experiences for passport holders will include live concert tickets, virtual engagement inside the Sandbox metaverse, apparel, NFT drops, and other virtual wearables and collectible items. This is cool that Steve Aoki is doing stuff within the Sandbox metaverse, because I bought some Sandbox tokens.
Nice.
So I'm like, go, pump. Anyways,
Yeah.
I think Sandbox is going to be definitely one of the leaders. I'm definitely not an expert in the metaverse yet, but I think I've seen so many people talk about Sandbox that definitely interesting, and it's definitely doing a lot of cool stuff. Like they've got Steve Aoki involved. So yeah, so that's so cool. So I think we're gonna see a lot more of this, like where musicians and performers are using NFT technology in order to sell tickets that are dynamic and that have multi uses.
Exactly.
You hear the construction going on next door?
It's all
They had
good.
stopped hammering for a while, and I was like, okay, it's good time. They're back.
I'll turn up frequencies in the background.
But yeah, okay, so tell me more about the events that you are going to be working on and how your involvement at the events during all of this Miami Tech Week. That I wish I could be there for that. It sounds so cool. But working on my residency thing in Mexico, so I can't leave yet.
That's all good. You're making your moves in Mexico. So
yeah,
you are present. Yeah.
I'll be there virtually. I need to get a headset so I can like tap into all the events.
I encourage you to do that. Get a headset.
100%. Did I tell you that I started a headset online store once?
Oh, do it.
But it was like 5 years ago, and it was so ahead of its time. Like,
yeah,
nobody was into headsets yet, and I was like, ooh, Oculus and all this cool stuff. And I started drop shipping headset, like VR headset.
I didn't know that about you. Yeah.
And then I just completely was like, fuck this. Nobody's buying this shit now. I don't have money to put into like advertising. There's just not enough, you know. I was 5 years too early, but maybe I'll redo it. I wonder if I still have it.
Oh yeah, you can be an affiliate of the products that you represent, just like anything else. I totally encourage that.
The funniest part is I had never even used a headset myself, only once.
Yeah, I mean, mine as well. If you're a consumer and you believe in the product, you affiliate yourself, and it's part of your avenue of income.
Yeah, so tell me about your events. Let's jump back to that.
Yeah, I am still in the process of figuring out what I'm participating in. So right now I'm currently setting up an arrangement for me to attend Bitcoin, the shitcoin conference, and then attendee as the Bitcoin conference. And then I'm trying to see if I can make it to the eMerge conference, because it's a lot of back-to-back. So you need I'm like can I handle going to the third one? But because it's going to be a lot of work, you know, like walking around and networking. There's going to be a lot of after parties.
Yeah.
So I'm currently in the process of figuring out my itinerary so I can plan it out. And I'm planting seeds, like people that I can meet there, and just see how it goes. Because this month that's coming up, I feel like, I don't want to say it's a make or break, but if you are wanting to get into the space as a serious business, this is the time to make that wave. Because um, there's going to be pitch competitions, there's going to be a lot of investment opportunities, there's going to be people walking around with their white papers and trying to get you to, you know, learn about what it is they're doing. So the more that you're, you know, somebody is prepared, and myself, you know, I'm doing the same right now, the more you're prepared, the more opportunity can come to you, and not just as like a 9 to 5 job. Because we're here to disrupt the system, we want to empower ourselves as a business. So it's no longer that 9 to 5 consultation structure of, you know, getting billed hourly type of system. I think that a lot of people are wanting to work more task-based in a long-term way. And, you know, I myself, I have a consulting business, but I don't want to do it hourly anymore. So I'm figuring out a way to enhance my business model so I can make sure, like, let's say if I have my NFTs for sale, what are the people investing in whenever they buy my NFTs? And what is the roadmap for myself, not just for me as a consultant, but everything else that I'm doing. So this is the beauty of putting together an NFT project. And this is what I'm working on right now. Let's say you're working with a few clients and they're all kind of separate, but it's still the same field. So if you're a graphic designer and you have a few other projects you're working on and they're kind of related to each other, what you can do with an NFT project is that you combine as a portfolio the things that you're working on as your mission, your initiative, and then you get some sort of investment or funding in that way. And I see that happening with people because they're combining everything they're doing, and like they're creating some sort of major initiative, the long-term initiative, as to what they're doing. And you can attract sponsors, you can attract you know, other people to collaborate with. And so that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about NFT projects enhancing collaboration. So it's not just the cut and dry consultative business anymore.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about the project that you're working on.
Yeah, definitely. So I am putting together a virtual showcase before the end of March. It is with a virtual gallery. I created a virtual gallery within a metaverse. It's called spatial.io. And I love them so far. I mean, I know there's a bunch of different options, but what I like about Spatial is that it's easy and seamless, and you can just plug in your NFTs in there. You can actually purchase NFTs through the link. So they have a good system that they set up. They have a good support with the developer team. And if you contact them, like I just contacted them and I told them I'm putting together this event, so they're going to help me out. And I have.
Awesome. I'm looking at it right now.
Definitely check it
out.
out.
Go to the right thing.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you spell it?
High quality. It's very elegant. Yeah, Spatial, SPATIAL.
Oh, SPATIAL.
.io. Yeah. And you create an avatar on there, just like all the other metaverses. And what I like about it, especially you, yeah, you as a designer, you would appreciate it because it's like interior designed, and they have different templates, but they're constantly changing. I can tell you from December to now it's March, 3 months, they completely changed their a lot of the features, and that now they have a lot of options. They ask people, they have like a featured board, and they ask people to include their worlds once they build it out, and you can get started for free if you want, and you just go on there and you build it out. the cool thing about what's happening right now, I feel, is so we have Instagram, right? We got social media, you have your Instagram profile, you got your pictures, and then you have that highlight. What is that called? The featured section? That other section you click on, the tab. Oh my gosh. Um, yeah, like the search section, that timeline where you see all the other featured. So
Yeah.
I feel, yeah, so I feel like with metaverses, and as we just saw from Steve Aoki, we're not going to have a profile anymore. There was MySpace, then there was Facebook, and then there's Instagram, and now we're going to have a metaverse profile. And then the metaverse profile is literally like people entering into your worlds, and they can have a ticket to go into your world, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and they get to experience like your profile. So this is how I think they're setting things up, and this is going to be the new trend by the summer. Like everybody's going to have a metaverse profile, and you go in there, you see people's NFT collections, you see their artwork, you trade things, there's an economy behind it, and that's it. Like that's the new way of making money.
So I guess what's kind of exciting about this for me is that art is really being pushed to the forefront of crypto culture, and it's like all about collecting art. One thing that's a little bit, for me, I don't know what the word is like some of the art is like really ugly, and like the AI generated art is like, okay, but you didn't even actually create this like as an artist. So I'm having a little bit of like dissidence, I guess, between like, you know, understanding why people are valuing certain things. And I do understand that ultimately all comes down to marketing, clout, who's pushing the project, the team behind it, the community they have, and stuff like that. But what do you think about like the NFT space in general right now and the actual art that's coming out of it? Do you have any insights or opinions?
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel whenever you purchase an NFT, you're not just purchasing the image that you're buying. You're purchasing the personality, the story, the branding experience of what the person is providing for you. So I think up until now, we've been testing out the buying and selling of NFTs and trying to figure out how do we brand things. But now we got higher players coming in and really showing us, like, for instance, Steve Aoki, where you are not just buying a ticket for a concert, you're buying a ticket into his metaverse world. And now there's like a longer term incentive, and you're being a member of something. And everybody wants to have a sense of belonging and feel like they're part of a club. That's why the crypto punks got so popular. So
Right.
I think we're creating this trend where it's like, it's no longer, hey, do you like this art piece? Yes, no, okay, great. Here's the purchase, buy. It's like a higher end client experience where the person is buying into who you are, what your story is, what you're working on. I mean, that's really the true value of utility and having a roadmap. It's not necessarily the numbers are important. Is there a positive cash flow and all that stuff? But it's like, are you a different person? Like, what is, like, this is not just the only art piece you're gonna do. Like, what are you gonna do in the future? And this, that. So like having that branding story behind,
Right.
yeah.
And I guess people are also now more interested in investing in artists while they're still alive.
Exactly.
Right? Because before it was like artists would mostly struggle. Some of them would do well, most of them would starve. But then when they would die, then their art becomes, or if they were prolific already, then their art explodes in value.
There you go. Exactly. Like Basquiat.
Do you think that will happen also in the NFT space? Like, say, I don't know, one of these big players, I don't want to say like a name and then says they die, but like just imagine one of them dies. Do you think that their NFTs would just go crazy in value?
100%. So an example, like one of the big artists is Basquiat. So I just read that they're going back into his collection, and I think it was like one of his family members, they were hiding part of his collection, and and now they're putting it out for auction in galleries and stuff. So it's like this mystery behind constantly figuring out like, what did the artist do, and he already passed and he's already popular. They want more of his artwork, he's already passed. They have to go and dig into his history. And
Right.
yeah, and the way that we're doing things now, it's like you get to see the step-by-step process. You get to invest in an artist in progress, right? Because I can imagine somebody like Eminem, like he writes lyrics to a song, and then now people are wanting to buy an NFT of his earlier lyrics that he was writing, because the value of those earlier lyrics are higher because he's famous now. Well, what if we did
Right.
things the other way around? You know, you see a promising artist, you see an emerging, even if it's not emerging, an artist that didn't get enough exposure. How many of them are around? And I'm all about bringing exposure to the hidden gems, you know? So how can we help them to get that level of fame or being well known in the industry, that is creating that disruption of like the gatekeeping and all of that? Okay, you didn't make it to Christie's, but can you make it on your own with your independent business where you're having people buy your NFTs and they're investing in you, and you still own everything that you're creating?
Mm.
That's the beauty of it, right? It's like having that level of ownership.
Yeah, and I really like the supposed smart contract technology where you can write in. I don't know how it works. Do you know how this works? Can you do that on OpenSea or any of these platforms where you can allocate like every time it's sold that this wallet gets 10% of the transaction and that goes to the artist?
Yeah,
'Cause I
absolutely.
heard that that's a thing and I got really excited about that, but I haven't actually launched any of my own NFTs yet. I've just been working on my art collection. So I'm curious to know how that works.
Yeah, I've been gradually building mine also as a test run so that I can know how to represent other artists. Yeah, so the standard for OpenSea, you can have a 10% royalty structure, and so that's a pretty good percentage considering if people buy and sell the same art piece, you're getting 10% every time without really doing anything. And so that's already set up in OpenSea. For the other websites, I'm not too sure, but I think it's the same as well. Because OpenSea is kind of like they set up the terms for the rest. They're kind of like the public library of NFTs. So
Yeah.
so OpenSea is a great way to start, and they did a good job at, I think, creating that structure. So you can also, what I also discovered is, let's say you have somebody help you sell your NFTs, you can add them to the NFT as a collaborator. So you're the owner of the NFT still, but you have somebody represent you, and you're still in control of your marketplace, or you have somebody else in control of your NFTs. That's up to you how you want to set it up. But
Interesting.
you can have somebody
So if
attach.
we were, for instance, I'm talking to this photographer about doing some creative stuff, and I was like, we should NFT it. So if him and I are both the creators of the NFT,
Yeah.
then can we set it up so each person gets 10%? Or is it like a way to, so we would do a 5%, split, or?
Yeah, so I think it would be 5%, because the max is 10. But in the case of how to set that up, like, so it's legit. So we're trying to adopt smart contracts, right? And smart contracts, it's supposed to be smart. It's supposed to be like attached to the NFT and sort of automatic. And we're not 100% there yet. So we're kind of, the way I'm setting up my business, for instance, is a hybrid structure. So I still have people sign, if an artist wants to work with me, they sign a contract. Just so, you know, things are clear how you're setting things up. So you can have on the contract 5% for royalties, and then you make it 50-50 for the sale, and you just have that in the terms of the contract, and you're ready to go, just like any other contract. And it can be straightforward. So I like doing it that way, just so because when you're selling bundle NFTs, you can literally sell like 10, 20, or 100 or 1,000 at the same time. And so in order to make that legit, I would say, in my opinion, to sign that contract. So it's legit and that's it. Like you can bundle sell.
Right, interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, and so what else? What else do I need to know?
I know we were gonna talk about copyright, intellectual property.
Oh yeah, you were mentioning that. So tell me, yeah, let's dive into that.
Yeah. So you
How do
mentioned
you
that,
copyright your work? Is
yeah,
NFTing it and minting it, is that just the same as copywriting it?
that's the argument at the moment. So lawyers are trying to figure out, is that really valid in the courts? If somebody were to bring up a case of copyright or intellectual property, they're deciphering, like, based off of our traditional laws versus this new age, how does it coincide? And so from based off of like what I've been observing and the research and experience that I've been having, I think that it's valid because you're adding the file to a digital ledger. And whenever you're adding that file to the digital ledger, it's legitimate, it's on record. And as long as it's your responsibility to make sure that you're branding properly, where like you have a watermark or you have your information of your company for the NFT. If you set it up that way, then it should be legit. And at the end of the day, yes, like just like how a celebrity gets paparazzi and they take a picture of you, like there's that funny thing going on with Kanye West right now. He's like, oh, are you gonna make that an NFT? Like you have to like get me to sign this and this, so it's
Honey's
how,
tripping.
right, it's like how safe is it to distribute an image online? But so there's always that risk. But I think if you do it in a smart way and you watermark your work, you put up the information of your company, you take the opportunity of selling that NFT as an exposure to initial investment to your company, then that's a win-win situation because you're having like a warm sale to getting involved with your initiative, and people will want to be interested. Hey, what else are you doing? Like, I don't want to just buy this one NFT. We can, what's your next thing, right?
So say I have an art piece, I upload it to OpenSea, I set the terms of my percentage, and then I can also make sure that my profile and everything is looking legit. I have my company name, logo, everything. So once I mint that, then it's more like authenticated.
I believe so. Yeah. Like you can even NFT your logo, NFT your pitch deck if you wanted to, because
So it's like, okay, I registered this on the blockchain on this day at this time. This is my form of putting my intellectual property out there.
yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But then, so, just trying to think of scenarios, like, for instance, how does that affect the current copywriting system? Because people pay a lot of money to get their stuff copyrighted and to use a copyright lawyer who then like looks in to make sure there's nobody with the same name, same business, same whatever in another place that's already also registered. So you're not like, I worked at this restaurant once and it was called Stella's, and they opened and everything was fine for like a year, and then they ended up getting sued by a bakery in another province called Stella's because they had copyrighted the name for the entire Canada for
Exactly.
any type of hospitality business or something. I don't know. So they ended up having to change the name and rebrand. So I'm just wondering, like, if I was to put up like, I'm Cryptonella, here's my Cryptonella logo, and then some other person also goes by Cryptonella, how would they be like, no, you can't use this, or yes, you can, because it's kind of out of like a lawyer's jurisdiction. It's just like on the blockchain. Obviously, like the first person to register, I guess, would maybe have a little bit of a, like, they might have a better advantage, but what if the other person can prove, like, I made this name before I registered it, like a year before this person registered it, I have proof. Like, they're still gonna have to go through like the copyright law and not the NFT platform, right?
Yeah.
There, I guess there's
So
still a lot to figure out.
that's the pain point right now. Like, what is the right way to do it? So I definitely would say it's always good to have, if you're serious about making a company, if you're serious about making this a business instead of just selling a few NFTs on the side kind of thing, if you really want to truly take this, all the way, it's always good to have a lawyer to advise what you're doing. And I mean, I went to law school for 2 years, but I'm not a lawyer. So I do want to tell you that, but also it's important to like understand, okay, you have your tag name, right? People do, they copyright their tag name in a sense. You could do that. Or like if you buy the domain, and you have like enough evidence where you looked up your name and nobody really has your name, like it's always good to do that due diligence and that background research. Make sure like you have Cryptonella, I have Think Sabrina. And does anybody else have that name? And you Google it and you look at the SEO and you just check real quick.
Yeah.
It does, it's just because like if you want people to purchase your stuff and they Google you, you don't want them to go to another company's URL. So it's just stuff like that, like doing your due diligence. Yes, that's definitely important. Having the advisement of a lawyer, you don't have to patent yourself. Like some people take it too far, like patenting and copywriting and trademark, those are three different distinctions. You want to make sure like copyright is a little bit more, it's less black and white. It's kind of in the gray area. So yeah, but doing that due diligence where you check your name, you check like Instagram, like your hashtag. If you have a hashtag, you can look up the hashtag and do other people have the same thing that you're doing? Are people going to get confused, like what is yours and what is other people's?
Right.
Just having that level of originality is always important. And yeah, so it depends on how serious you want to get. If you're like a serious artist and you're like, this is my tag name, this is my slogan, like this is what I'm creating. And I'm at that level right now too. Like I've always been fearful that people are gonna copy me, but you gotta weigh out the options. Like, are you going to be fearful all the time that people are gonna copy you and you're slowing down your business? Or are you gonna take the chance and you do your due diligence, you make sure that you have the advisement of a lawyer, you have that ability to understand, just wisely do a bit of research about copyright. And then I always condone signing a contract. Like if somebody's purchasing your NFT, have them sign a contract. And that way, like
But
creating a
if
good
they're
path.
buying your NFT, say it's an art piece, isn't them buying it through the blockchain signing the contract? Like, isn't that like the agreement is I'm buying this and whatever the smart contract terms come with, I'm agreeing to it.
True. Ideally, yes, that would be the right way to do it, right? But I'm thinking because there's so many scams right now that it's like, I feel like we're not at that stage yet where we're using this tool properly. And because it's not completely translated, so just to create you as a company the right message for people, just like how you buy the sale of a house, you have to sign a contract, right? I mean, we're coming into virtual, buying virtual land. So it, like if you purchase the virtual land, is that completely legit, or do we need to sign an outside contract? Whenever you're buying an NFT, it's supposed to represent a physical art piece. And some artists, you can purchase the physical art piece, have it shipped to you, and the virtual version. So
yes, that's what I want to do.
right. So having that hybrid, I think is still needed because to avoid scams, to show that people that you're serious, and because we're misusing the tool up until now. So I think the more knowledgeable we come with the general public of trading, because I think not everyone understands smart contracts. I don't even understand smart contracts 100% because it's very complex. It involves a lot of code. So
Yeah.
we're coming to, like, there's this tool called Nifty Kit, and that's an outside third party company, but they help you to manage your entire NFT collection. Ooh, I see that you got the Palo Santo. I'm over here too.
It's actually my diffuser.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just turned my AC on because it's getting hot in here, so it's blowing now towards me. It smells
So yeah, so
good.
I'm gonna message you Nifty Kit.
Yeah, everybody check out
Because
Nifty Kit.
yeah, because that
Definitely I'll be
that is
looking
dope.
into it.
Yeah, I'm checking out Nifty Kit. They're very well managed. They make things more seamless, and I'm all about that. So they build they build the smart contract for you without the coding. So you don't have to like go to a class and learn code all over again. You know, you don't have, like, you can move forward and feel confident, like, hey, I think it's like $10 or $20 a month. You know, it's an investment, but again, like, if you're serious about selling NFTs, if you're all in and
Or if you're serious about buying them and want to manage them.
Yeah, or even have your manager, you know, be like, hey, like, manage yourself on Nifty Kit for me. You can do it like that. So
manager.
These tools are awesome. I feel like there's certain things coming in that are helping things to be more seamless and, you know, not so complex with the coding and this and that. I mean, that's impressive if you can do coding. I think that's amazing. But
most
not
of us are
not everyone wants to do that.
Computer scientists.
Yeah, exactly. NFTs don't have to be rocket science. So
well, that's exciting. Yeah, always when there's like a new industry, everything is really confusing and convoluted at first, and then stuff like Nifty Kit shows up where it's like, okay, now we're streamlining this.
yeah.
So yeah, I definitely want to do some more research into finding out what are some of the best tools to use for NFT creators. Maybe we can compile a list and we can put some links down below for when we put this video out.
100%.
Check out the best things that we found. I don't know if you can hear them sawing and drilling. Can you hear that?
A little bit.
So maybe we should wrap this up because it's gonna probably
that's cool.
But it was super great to talk to you, and we'll do this again. We should just do this like every week or something. Do a little recap, maybe once a month, and put out some new resources for people to check out. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. We'll talk more about Miami. I want to know what your itinerary is going to be looking like, what events you're going to be checking out. Definitely. And then you can like FaceTime me from them so I can be there virtually. Maybe I'll get my headset. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Yes. Get your headset. Definitely. Get your headset. We can do tilt brush together. How about that?
What's a tilt brush?
OMG. It's the painting. You can like do it as a group where you get a few people and you're painting together in virtual.
Oh my God. And then can you NFT what you paint?
Yes. Yes.
Dude, do that.
Yes.
All right. Ordering myself a headset. Got any recommendations?
Get it, girl. Yes. Exactly.
I should know since I like had all these different headsets on my site, but which one do you use? Which one do you love? I
do the Oculus 2, the one behind me. Yeah. That's the best one so far. I really like Magic Leap too. So I'm hoping to get more involved with them. But until then, I'm working with Oculus 2. All
right, cool. Shout out to Oculus 2. Send us some headsets, y'all.
Right? Exactly. 100%.
Hey girl, I'll talk to you soon.
You too, girl. Thanks, Crypto Nella. Bye.